Good afternoon, Mizzou fans. It's Tuesday, February 27th at the Tiger Club of Kansas City. Our guest speaker today from Sports Radio 810 WHB, Stephen St. John. Stephen, always a pleasure.
Thank you very much for having me.
Nothing going on.
You know what, that's the thing. I didn't even really talk very much. I just opened it up for questions right at noon, and I ended up talking for an hour because between Mizzou and Michael Porter Jr. and the Chiefs and the Royals, I probably could have talked for another hour.
So let's start with Mizzou basketball. We're down to the final week of the regular season. Tigers in the picture for the NCAA. What do we got to do to make that for sure?
Well, I think they're in right now. They've got the game tonight at Vanderbilt, and then Saturday home against Arkansas, and then whoever they play in the SEC tournament. I feel like if they win any two games in any combination, whether it could be these next two or one in the regular season, one in the tournament, they're in for sure. They only win one more. It could be some nervous times on Selection Sunday, and if they don't win again, I will probably drink myself to sleep.
Big topic of conversation here among the group today is the trade of Marcus Peters. What's your take on it?
I think, unfortunately for Chiefs fans, because Marcus Peters clearly is one of the best cornerbacks in football, it was just a marriage that had to end. I think Marcus Peters wanted out. I think the Chiefs wanted out. And I think there was enough questions about Marcus Peters that the market wasn't great. As Peter King reported, 28 teams were not interested in making an offer for Marcus Peters, and so that left the Chiefs trying to get the best deal that they possibly could. That was what the Rams offered. But I think it's good for Marcus Peters. He's going to go to one of the best defenses and one of the best front sevens in football, so he's going to be able to make plays there. They're an ascending team with a dynamic young head coach and one of the best defensive coordinators in Wade Phillips, so I think the situation is perfect for him to succeed. And for the Chiefs, it was time to move on. They're trying to build draft picks and build a team around Patrick Mahomes. They knew that Marcus Peters was never going to sign a deal to stay in Kansas City, and Clark Hunt wasn't going to offer a long-term deal. And so I just think it was better for both parties. Except for, like in many divorces, sometimes it's tough on the kids. The kids are the fans. It's tough on the fans because now we got to watch Marcus Peters go play in L.A. and hopefully the Chiefs replace him and via free agency and bring in another corner or two. But I think in the long run it'll be better for both parties.
Let's turn to the Royals. We're in spring training. A lot of question marks. It's going to be an interesting season.
I think they've announced that you're actually the starting center fielder. Boy, I'm not kidding.
Not much
well, thank you. It's rebuilding is a lot easier when you can still talk about a World Series championship from just a couple of years ago. I don't think they're going to be as bad as 100 losses. They've got good players like Salvi and Whit Merrifield, and Alex Gordon defensively is still elite. And you look at what they've got coming up, and some of these guys like Mondesi and Dozier and Cuthbert and Bonifacio and Soler, I don't know if maybe three of those guys break out. They've got a veteran starting pitching staff, and Herrera, maybe second year as closer, will even out a little bit. That's a team that can win 75 games. They're not going to be terrible. They're not going to be the worst team in baseball, but it's certainly not going to be what we've seen the past 2 or 3 years. But knowing that they can do it, they've done it before, makes the rebuilding process far more palatable than it used to be.
He's one of the best in town. You can hear him every morning on the Border Patrol. Also follow him on Twitter at SSJWHB.
That's right.
Stephen, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey fans, a special event we'd like to announce next Tuesday, March 6th at Conrad's in Liberty. We'll have a special Tiger Club Power Hour. Our featured guest will be Jarrett Sutton, former Mizzou basketball star Kareem Rush, and of course, my man here, Stephen St. John. That'll be 6 o'clock at Conrad's in Liberty. Next Tuesday at the Flea Market, our guest speaker will be Vahe Gregorian of the Kansas City Star. For more information, check us out at kctigerclub.com or follow us on Twitter at KCTigerClub.